Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to create Flappy Bird on Scratch. For those who are unfamiliar with Flappy Bird, it's a game where you control a bird and attempt to pass through all the pipes without hitting them. When you hit them, you lose the game. Go ahead and create a new project in Scratch. And our first step is to get rid of our cat by clicking the little trash can button. We're going to go down and choose a sprite. You can choose any sprite here. For the sake of time, I'm going to choose a parrot. Now we have our parrot on our screen, and the first block we're going to choose is in our events, and we're going to drag out our when green flag clicked. Do two things. Our first step is we're going to shrink it. We're going to shrink it to about 25% of its original size. And that way he's a lot smaller and we control him a lot easier. Now our second step is to, on our screen, take our parrot and drag him over to the left, right in the middle. That's going to be a starting spot. After we've done that, we can go to motion, and about 5 blocks down, grab the go to X and go to Y block. Drag it right below. Come down and choose a backdrop, and we're going to pick a backdrop for our game. Now I'm going to choose blue sky right in the middle here. Now our final setup is we're going to come down to choose a sprite, but we're not going to choose a sprite. We're going to go ahead and paint our own. So by selecting paint, it opens up this screen here. And now what you're going to do is we're going to make our pipes. So click on the rectangle in the bottom left here and drag it out onto your screen. Go ahead and do the same on the bottom here. And make sure they're centered, and then go ahead and pick whatever color you want by clicking the paint bucket, grabbing a color, and clicking right on the rectangle. A new costume by coming down here and clicking paint again. That's going to create a new costume and change up the size of the pipes. So maybe this pipe over here is farther down. Go ahead and do that a couple times. We can go ahead and click on our code block in the top left and get coding. Now once we're here, click on our parrot in the bottom right, and we're back to our parrot code. First block we're going to drag out is the forever block. That's under our control tab. And inside the forever tab, we're going to go back up to motion, and we're going to drag out this change Y by 10. But instead of changing Y by 10, we're going to change it by around -4 or -4. Now when we run it by pressing our green flag, we can see that our parrot starts to fall. Now our next step is to make them so we can fly them. So we're going to go into our events tab and grab this when space key pressed. And now we're going to go back to our motion, and we're going to grab this glide 1 second to X and Y right in the middle here. Drag it out. We're going to need 2 more blocks. So under motion at the bottom, block this as X position, we're going to drag right into X. And now we're going to grab a Y position, but we need to add Y. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and grab this plus in our operators. It's the top block. And we want to add around 25 to our Y value. That's going to make them fly upwards. Now, finally, we're going to change this 1 second to around 0.2. Now you can see when we run our code and we press our space key, he starts to fly up. Awesome. And now that we have this, our next step is going to make the game stop when he hits the ground. Because when our parrot hits the ground, we also want to stop the game. So what we're going to do is inside of control, we're going to drag this if block out. We're going to put it inside of our forever loop. Now we're going to go to sensing. We're going to drag this block out that says touching color. What this is if we're ever touching a certain color, then run this code below. And to select that brown color, we're going to click right on the color itself. Then on the bottom of that little menu that popped up, there's a little color picker. Go ahead and select it, and then hover over that black color with your mouse, and click right on it. Now once we've done that, go to control, and almost at the bottom, grab the stop all block. We're going to drag out another if block right underneath. And this time we're going to choose the color of our pipe, because we also want to stop the game when we run into our pipe. So grab out our touching color, click on it, hit the color picker, and hover over that green color on our pipe. Now same thing, go to control and grab our stop all. We're going to go ahead and change over to our pipe. So by clicking on sprite 1 down here, we are now in our pipe code. And now we're going to go to our events and drag out our when green flag click. This is the start of our game. Now, using this block, on our screen, what we're going to do is click on the pipe and drag him all the way to the end here. And we're going to go back to motion and click right on this go to XY and drag it right underneath. And now we're going to go ahead and go to looks. We're going to drag out the hide block. This is going to hide our sprite when our game starts. Now we're going to go to control and grab another forever loop. And now we're going to need 2 blocks in this forever loop. We're going to need to wait 1 second. And we're going to need a create clone of myself. And we're going to put that above the wait 1 second. So our code should look like this. Create clone of myself basically creates another clone of our pipe. So we can have multiple pipes. Now we're going to drag out inside of control still when I start as a clone. Our pipes move. First thing we're going to do is go back to our motion and grab one more go to XY. We're going to drag that right under when I start as a clone. Now the next step is we have to show it. So we're going to go back to looks and grab that show block, which is right above hide. What to do is still in our looks tab, grab this switch costume. And now when we create a clone, we want to change it to a random costume. That way we have some random elements of this game. So inside of operators, right underneath these 4 blocks, we're going to grab a pick random 1 to 10. And we're going to switch that last number to however many costumes you have. So I have 3 costumes, and I can check by clicking on costumes up here. I have 1, 2, 3. And now we have to make our pipes glide to the end here. So to do that, on our screen, drag our pipe all the way over here and go back to motion. We're going to drag this glide 1 second to XY and change glide 1 second to 5 seconds. And finally, we can go ahead and say delete this clone. Change the wait 1 second to 3 seconds. Now we're ready to play our game. To do that, press our green flag, and to control our parrot, all we have to do is press our space key. We can see that when we run into the pipe, we lose.